The project Safety Educator has been implemented at the initiative of the Juvenile Prevention Directorate of the National Police of Ukraine, the State Emergency Services, and also with the help of the Ministry of Internal Affairs and, of course, the Ministry of Education, the Ministry of Healthcare, the Ministry of Regions, the Association of Cities of Ukraine, the Ukrainian Association of Amalgamated Communities. And this project, Safety Educator, will allow communities to build environment that is safe for children, free from bullying, drugs, and violence. In addition, the professionals that will be part of this project will be communicators between local authorities and territorial units of the national police, state emergency services, the bodies of education and healthcare infrastructure, and also the student community and the parent community. The professionals will be and are already placed at schools, and they're working on implementing the innovative techniques and experience on organizing the safety of educational process for children. We're increasing the level of protection of children, countering the violations towards children. They're working on creating the safe infrastructure in the territories around the schools. So the professional on safety in educational environment is someone who is the official of the executive body of the village community, town community, and they report to the heads of this community. 16 communities in 9 oblasts have already launched this project. We have prepared 17 professionals who have already had their 4-week training in the National Academy of Internal Affairs, and they will be working in 49 educational facilities. They are already working in these 49 educational facilities. Starting from September 19th to September 30th, we started receiving applications for new professionals. Any region can join because the previous conclusions that we have made is that our professionals on safety already have positive results, and there is positive feedback both from the community and also from the students themselves who are studying in these educational facilities. Professionals on safety in the educational environment have responsibility for up to 1,500 students in 1 to 3 educational facilities. Now we're receiving applications. I can tell you about the requirements and about people who can and cannot become professionals on safety. It can be a citizen who is more than 21 years of age, have completed their secondary education, know Ukrainian language, are physically and mentally healthy, that will not prevent them from fulfilling their abilities, and have been trained according to the Ministry of International Affairs, National Police, State Emergency Services, and Ministry of Education program courses. This is the 4-week training that I have mentioned. Speaking of this 4-week training, what skills do the safety educators receive? Safety educators are taught by professionals who work in the Academy of Internal Affairs, but also by professionals who are practicing safety education. They're explaining what they should pay attention to working in schools to ensure safety, safe education for children at schools. They're being taught about typical cases, most widespread cases, and the algorithms for actions for specific cases. if we talk about a day of such safety educator at school so that all of us would understand, what is the day like? Does this person talk to teachers, does some workshops for teachers, or do they talk to our children? Do they teach our children some kind of necessary skills? What is his working day like? Well, before coming into the school, safety educators should characterize this school for themselves and emphasize the main points there, develop a safety passport of the school, take measures, and ask the relevant institutions to improve if the safety educator thinks that certain aspects needs to be improved. For instance, if at school fire safety is violated, or maybe somewhere fire extinguishers are not present, but on ensuring the safety at the territory around the school, the safety educator evaluates how safe it is for children to be there, whether there are safe road crossings, whether there are traffic lights, whether the school is equipped with video surveillance, metal detectors, additional guards, and so on and so forth. So the safety educator will pay attention to the safety of children at school, and I am sure this will allow us to decrease the negative things that will emerge in the education process. So on bomb shelters, the safety educator will be responsible for that as well? Yes, of course. And they will be evaluating. Already the commissions are working. Before we started the education process this year, commissions together with the police and the state emergency services evaluated the schools and gave their recommendations whether these schools can start the education process or not. And of course, safety educators will be responsible for that in the future, possibly introducing some changes into safe evacuation of children from the educational facility, talking to the national police and state emergency services, also inspecting the bomb shelters where children need to go down during emergency situations. So such safety educators will be working mostly with the administration of these educational facilities and giving them, let's say, recommendations on safety of children being there. Well, look, this is the person who will be working in the community, and they will have from 1 to 3 educational facilities in their responsibility, but there should be not more than 1,500 students in these facilities. This person will be responsible for these facilities the entire time. They will not only be submitting their suggestions, but will also work with the parents, with the students, identify the topics for prevention work in these particular schools, analyze together with the juvenile police officer the situation in this particular school. So this cooperation is aimed to make every school of our state a place of order. Please share your feedback. What do parents say, what do children say, where the system has already been launched? As I have already mentioned, safety educators have been working for less than a month now. It is too early to evaluate, but we have already had positive feedback from the heads of communities, from the heads of educational facilities, from children themselves, on finally having a person, one person, who is responsible for the safety of the educational facility and initiate some kind of prevention events, not just the lectures by the national police, but some kind of interactive workshops with demonstrations of certain things that are related to safety in the student environment. So far, we have only had positive feedback. And since the launch of the since the new call of the applications, over 10 applications have already been submitted. Dear colleagues, do you have any questions? If you have any. We have no questions from the audience. I think that everybody has good understanding of the project. Thank you, Yaroslav, for joining us and explaining it to us. I will remind you that it was Yaroslav Shanko with us. He's the Deputy Head of the Juvenile Prevention Directorate of the National Police of Ukraine. Please follow our news. We trust in the Ukrainian armed forces and we keep working for our victory. Thank you.